Sister Nivedita writes, "It was as though nature, the great mother, were clothed in raiment of green, broidered with birds and flowers and fruits, and veiled in blue, adorned with many jewels, and yet as if, amidst all the restless pomp and clamour of her glory, would shine through now and then a hint of something different. Under the apparent loveliness, one sees life preying on life. The rivers breaking down the mountains, the comet poised in mid-space to strike. Around him rises up the wail of all the creatures, the moan of pain and the sob of greed, and the pitiful cry of little things in fear. Irresponsible, without mercy, seems the spirit of time, deaf to the woes of man, or answering them only with a peal of laughter. Such is the world as the Hindu mind is predisposed to see it.
The stars are blotted out, the clouds are covering clouds. It is darkness, vibrant, sonant. In the roaring, whirling wind are the souls of a million lunatics, just loose from the prison house, wrenching trees by the roots, sweeping all from the path. The sea has joined the fray and swirls up mountain waves to reach the pitchy sky. The flash of lurid light reveals on every side 1,000 shades of death, begrimed and black, scattering plagues and sorrows, dancing, mad with joy. Come, Mother, come. For terror is thy name, death is in thy breath, and every shaking step destroys a world for error. Thou time, the all-destroyer, come, O Mother, come.
Dashamahavidya yata chamunda tantre Kali Tara Mahavidya Shodashi Bhuvaneshwari Bhairavi Chinnamasta cha Vidya Durmavati tatha Bagala Siddha Vidya cha Matangi Kamalatmika Eta Dashamahavidya Siddha Vidya Prakirtita Sri Kali Gayatri Om Kalikayai Vidmahe Smashana Vasinyai Dhimahi Tanno Gora Prachodayat Kali Mantraha Om Krim 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 Hrim Hrim Dashamahavidya yata.
Etymologically, Kali is simply a feminine adjective, the dark or the blue-black one, but to the extent that it has undertones of the masculine noun Kala, it shares that noun's meaning of time, and by implication, time as that which brings all things to an end. A frequently quoted passage from the Mundaka Upanishad describes Kali as one of the 7 quivering tongues of Agni, fire. In this imagery too, Kali and fire come to participate in the common matrix of Kali as agent of the world's incineration. The Kamada Tantra, though, says unequivocally that Kali is attributeless, neither male nor female, sinless, the imperishable Brahman itself. In the words of Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa, Brahman and Shakti are identical. It is the primordial power that has become the world and all living beings. That which sports with Kala is called Kali. She is the primal energy. Kala and Kali, Brahman and Shakti are indivisible. Sri Ramakrishna's best known disciple, Swami Vivekananda, was a teacher of Advaita Vedanta. He spoke rarely about Kali, yet at significant moments of his life, his encounters with the dark goddess were to have a profound influence on his life and thoughts. On a rare occasion, Swami Vivekananda shared his thoughts about Kali with a small group of disciples at the Thousand Island Park on July 2nd, 1895.
So, though he did not discuss or teach Kali publicly, but to his intimate disciples in Thousand Island Park, he did teach them about Mother. And I'd like to read a few excerpts of those teachings. Very interesting. We see in these teachings a tension between looking on Mother as a principle, as embodying the all, and on the other hand, as a person we can know and talk to. He taught them, the Divine Mother is the Kundalini, the coiled up power sleeping in us. Without worshipping her, we can never know ourselves. All merciful, all powerful, omnipresent are attributes of Divine Mother. She is the sum total of the energy in the universe. Every manifestation of power in the universe is Mother. She is life, she is intelligence, she is love. So here we see the principle, the principle of the absolute, of all power being a manifestation of Mother. And yet, again he teaches, she is in the universe, yet separate from it. She is a person and can be seen and known as Sri Ramakrishna saw and knew her. Established in the idea of Mother, we can do anything. She quickly answers prayer. Again, giving us a great encouragement. She can show herself to us in any form at any moment. Divine Mother can have form and name, or name without form. And as we worship her in these various aspects, we can rise to pure being, having neither form nor name. The sea calm is the absolute, the same sea in waves is the Divine Mother. She is time, space, and causation. A bit of Mother, a drop, was Krishna. Another was Buddha, another was Christ. Worship her if you want love and devotion. Finally, the Jnani says, I will uncover God by force. The approach of Jnana, of wisdom. I will uncover God by force. But the dualist says, I will uncover God by praying to Mother, begging her to open the door to which she alone has the key.
As a teacher of Advaita Vedanta, Vivekananda's mission was to spread the message of the Upanishads far and wide. He did not speak too frequently about Kali, perhaps due to his sensitivity to the fact that in large parts of the world, the image of the dark goddess was viewed with shock and horror. Although we invoke her by chanting Om Sarva Mangalya Mangalle, O the auspiciousness of all things auspicious, he was aware that to the unfamiliar, the image of the goddess could be shocking.
Kali Kali Mahakali Kali ke paap harini dharmarth moksha de devi Narayani namostute.
As the verse says, Sarva Mangala Mangalye, O Mother, who art the auspiciousness of all auspicious things. But what about that bloody garland of severed heads around her neck? What of her girdle fashioned of severed human arms? What about that blood trickling from the corners of her mouth as described in the meditation verses on Mother Kali? The devotees, most often we give symbolic interpretations of these, or we don't look at those. We look at Mother's granting boons and fearlessness, and we don't look at that part. Or, as Swami Swahanandaji used to say, who wants a namby-pamby mother? Mother is there to protect us. Her sword protects us from evil. Sword is the sword of knowledge, and that severed head that she holds in her lower left hand is the head of our ego of ignorance, and with the sword of knowledge she severs our ignorance, our head of ignorance, and frees us. But there's more. Her girdle of arms is symbolic of how she cuts our karma. It's with our arms that we work. When she cuts the cut arms she cuts our karma and releases us. There's more though. In the image of Kali we find, as Nikhilananda writes, a glorious harmony of the pairs of opposites. If she is the power of Brahman, if she is time, space, and causation, then she is everything. Then she must be all good. But what about bad? The bad must also be a manifestation of Mother. The terrible must also be within her. She also destroys as well as creates. The whole universe, with its joy and misery, is the play, the Leela, the manifestation of the Mother. And what we want to say is, that's all well and good, but as the young Swami Turiyananda, as Hari asked Sri Ramakrishna, that's all well and good, but this play of God is our death. And Sri Ramakrishna answers, please tell me who you are. Tell me who you are. God alone has become all this. Maya, the universe, living beings, and the 24 cosmic principles. As the snake I bite, and as the charmer I cure. This is a difficult conception of the divine, to look on everything as coming from God, and yet it's a grand vision. There is no devil to explain the existence of evil. Good and evil are just two faces of the Absolute. It's a mature outlook, a mature attitude. Sri Ramakrishna says, this world is the Leela of God. It is like a game. In this game there are joy and sorrow, virtue and vice, knowledge and ignorance, good and evil. The game cannot continue if sin and suffering are altogether eliminated from the creation. This is the perfect wisdom, that God has become all this. Nothing exists but the divine. And good and evil are only relative. They are different sides of one coin. Vivekananda wrote another poem in Bengali on Mother Kali. Nachuk tahate Shama, let Shama dance there, is the title of the poem. Awake, O hero, forsake dreams. Death stands at your head. Does fear behoove thee? This world full of sorrow is the body of God. His temple the abode of ghouls in the midst of funeral pyres. His worship perpetual battle, albeit always in defeat. Fear not. Let all desires, self, fame go. The heart be turned into a burning ground, and let Shama dance there. This beautiful image of the heart, we know that Mother Kali dances in the cremation ground. Turn our heart into a cremation ground. And what do we burn there? We burn the corpses of these empty dreams that we live on. The empty dreams that we shall somehow be happy if we only get a good house and a good wife, or a good husband, or get our daughter or son married, and then we shall be all right, and then we shall be happy. These dreams are but bondages. Can we sacrifice all these desires? Can we let the Mother crush them under her feet? Burn them in a big conflagration in our heart, and that becomes a cremation ground where the Mother comes and dances. Then the Mother comes. In the cremation ground of the heart, we burn the corpses of our desires, our hankering for name and fame, for lust and gold, and in that desolation, the Mother comes and dances. This worship of the terrible, or at least acceptance of the terrible, brings a great freedom. It brings a great boldness, a fearlessness, a great dispassion, a detachment, vairagya. No more will we be attracted by the false glitter of this world. Then we want that. We want her who is the source.
Nahi surjo, nahi jyoti, nahi surjo, nahi jyoti, nahi shashank,